3, 2, 1. Hey friends, Janky here, and welcome to another episode of Hanging with Janky. A lot going on this week, friends. I watched Young Frankenstein for the first time because it was on Netflix. That movie is hilarious. Igor hits every joke in that movie. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you do. It is maybe a little overhyped, but still a really good movie to see. Oh, and also, just off the top of my head, we have 250 people in the Jank Squad now. Yes, that's correct. We have met the 250 goal. Yay! And there is a challenge associated with that, which involves me sitting in an ice bath and eating peppers and doing a charcoal mask and a whole bunch of other things I said I would do. I'm working on getting that recorded. It's super cool. Yay! So thank you all. I am so glad to have you all with me. I'm so glad that you like being here. And I'm just excited. I'm excited for things. Alright, so with that, let's get moving on everything we have going on today. I am running just a tad short on time because I woke up a bit late today, and the first E3 conference coming from EA will be going up in about an hour, so I need to make sure I get everything recorded so I can be there for that, because I will be commentating. Live tweeting, it's a blast. Alright, so let's get things started with what went up on the channel this past week. So, there is one thing in particular that I wanted to mention because it's real cool. If you guys have happened to miss it, be sure to check it out. Pitch People with me and Joel Bone. This was something that we started a while back whenever the game first went into early access. Then we took a hiatus for a while because we didn't have time to record. And we had like a really strict upload schedule that we were kind of falling behind on. So we've kind of relaxed the grip on that. Okay, I relaxed the grip a bit on that. And now we're back with more Pit People. And it's super fun and super cool and still super awesome. So definitely be sure to check it out. We do lots of voices. It's great. As for what's going up on the channel this next week, I can say two things for definite sure. I know that there will be more Janky's Labs because I've always got a Janky's Lab cooking in the background. And also the 250 subscriber challenge video. I still have to record it, but I intend to get it up this week, so definitely be looking forward to that coming at you. And that's all I got for what's going on with the channel. So let's go ahead and thank some subs, shall we? We have 255. 255 as of my recording this, which is awesome. 8 subs in 1 week. That's like unprecedented for the Jank Squad, guys. And I'm really happy about it. It's super cool. So let's get thanking, shall we? So first up, we have Nearest Johnson. I really hope that I pronounced that correctly. She is super cool. She streams games and she does little vlogs over on her channel. She has 46 subscribers. Definitely go check her out. She's super cool. Also on Twitter, she's awesome. So be sure to check her out. And thank you so much, Nearest. I know you've been watching for a while. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And keep on being an awesome human being. Thank you so much. Next up, we have the Couch Potatoes, who also do YouTube. They're a fun collaborative channel where they just play a whole bunch of games, GTA 5, FIFA, all those fun multiplayer games. They currently have 276 subscribers on their channel, so please go check them out as well. They're super cool. And thank you guys so much for becoming a part of the Jank Squad. Then we have the Ring of Druids, who also does YouTube. They got a couple podcasts up on their channel. Looking forward to more content from them. Thank you so much, guys, for joining the Jank Squad. I appreciate. And welcome. And keep being awesome. And welcome. Next up, we have Definitely Not Katie, who also does the YouTubes. 283 subscribers on her channel, so close to 300. She does live streams and cool things and blogs and gaming and stuff. Definitely go check her out. She is super cool. Katie is awesome to talk to on Twitter as well. Keep being you, Katie. Keep being? Booing? What did I just say? Whatever. You're awesome. Keep doing your thing. And thank you for joining the Jank Squad. Next up, we have Patsy Monty. Thank you so much for joining the Jank Squad. Keep being you and keep being awesome. Thank you so much for being a part of our team. Then we have Ricardo Luna. Thank you so much for joining the Jank Squad. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you for being here, and I hope that you continue to enjoy the content. Keep being awesome. Then we have Allie Danielle, who is also delightful to chat up on Twitter. She is super cool and funny and awesome and sweet. And thank you so much for officially becoming part of the Jank Squad, Allie. And I appreciate it. And thank you. And keep being you. And finally, we have Monty Shiro. Again, hilarious to talk to on Twitter. Thank you so much, Monty, for officially becoming part of the Jank Squad. Officially. Keep being awesome and wonderful and super cool. And thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And that's it for sub thanks for this week. So thank you to all 255 members of the Jank Squad. If I did happen to miss you, I apologize. I'll try to squeeze you in next week into my thanks. But thank you all so much. I really do appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting me and the channel and being a part of the community. And it's just awesome. And I hope that you continue to enjoy the content in the future. And thank you. Love you all. Alright, now with the mushy mush out of the way, let's move on over into gaming news, shall we? Starting with our Quickfire news. What do we got in Quickfire news today? Well, let's get Quickfire news started with the following. Dissidia Final Fantasy, a reboot of the original Dissidia Final Fantasy released for the PSP back in 2009, is a sweet fighting game coming to the PS4. It looks really awesome. It takes all of the Final Fantasy heroes and villains and puts them into one world with a weird story. It kind of reminds me of Hyrule Warriors. Looking forward to seeing more from it. Speaking of fighting games, Battleborn has gone free to play. Kind of. There is a free-to-play trial that you can download on Steam, which gives you basically a sense of the game, and then if you'd like to unlock the full game, you can buy it for $30. This is basically due to the fact that Battleborn's player base has kind of gone down, and it never really had one to begin with, because a lot of people basically thought it was the same thing as Overwatch. It's really not. It's a very different kind of game, but because they released it at the same time, Battleborn suffered for it. So they're trying to get some hype rebuilt for Battleborn. Hopefully that goes well for them. Speaking of things that are free to play / on sale, the GOG summer sale has started. So if you like going over to Good Old Games for some games, definitely check out their summer sale. I go over there every so often. I got Gwent from there, I think, but that was part of the beta. Anyway, their summer sale has begun, so if you're interested, definitely go check that out. Speaking of sites that sell games, Steam Greenlight has officially shut down this past week. They've officially closed off the program, and Steam Direct will be booting up sometime next week. You'll recall that I did a piece last week on Steam Direct. Basically, developers can spend $100 and get their game straight to the store, and if they earn money on it, a significant amount, 1K, they can recoup that $100 publishing fee. We'll see how this works out, and we'll see if it makes it easier to navigate the Steam store. I don't know, but we'll see how it works out. Speaking of direct and directors, Peter Jackson's new AR tabletop company has released their first game, or at least showed it off. It's very cool. You basically have an iPad or an iPhone. You look through the screen and you can see this majestic world built into your tabletop. And in fact, the world reacts to the table itself. One guy ran off the edge because an airship was shooting at him and he fell off into space. It was very interesting. Definitely check it out because it is pretty cool to look at. Speaking of ARs and DLCs and abbreviations that come with gaming, Little Nightmares, the incredible popular horror game released last month, is getting an episodic DLC later this year entitled Secrets of the Maw. The sections will be released over the course of the coming year. They will follow a new protagonist known as the Runaway Kid. Will he survive or not? Who knows, but I'm excited to see more from that game because the game itself is pretty cool to look at, so I'm excited to see more. Speaking of stories, Minecraft Story Mode Season 2 is coming up sometime this summer. This was a thing created by Telltale for Minecraft. Minecraft Story Mode went over pretty well, so they decided to make a Minecraft Story Mode Season 2. If you're a fan of Minecraft, definitely be sure to check that out. Speaking of stories and how awesome music is in creating that story, I know the connections get a little tenuous, but roll with me. Tomb Raider is getting a Kickstarter for a reboot of the original soundtrack as performed by a live orchestra on vinyl. It looks really cool, and I'm really excited to hear about it because it looks awesome. So if you're into that sweet vinyl and you want to hear a live orchestration of the awesome soundtrack of the original Tomb Raider game, check out the Kickstarter because it'll be kicking. And speaking of kicking and breaking, ground has been broken on Super Nintendo World in Japan. That's right, the Nintendo themed theme park coming to Japan. It's officially been broken in. Ground broken? I don't know how to say it, but it's construction has started and people are excited and people are already speculating what kinds of things will go into the park. Particularly, will there be actual Mario Kart, which would be spectacular and awesome. I would fly to Japan just to do real life Mario Kart. If they could find a way to actually construct Rainbow Road in real life, it would be incredibly frustrating, but so satisfying and amazing, and I'd love to see more of that. So excited to see more from Super Nintendo World, and that is all I have for Quickfire news this week. As for what's going on with the rest of Hanging with Janky today, is going to be mostly talking about what sort of things we're expecting from E3, because that is, of course, as I mentioned earlier, starting today with the EA conference and moving through the next week with all of the conferences from Sony and Bethesda and Ubisoft and all of them. I'm excited to see what they have in store, but I've also been kicking around the internet to see what people are thinking is coming, which is what I'm going to talk to you guys about right now. So let's get started with Microsoft. What are we expecting? Well, one thing that we're expecting to hear more from Microsoft is Project Scorpio, which is an upgrade to the Xbox One. I think it's kind of like the PS4 Pro, and then it's not a new system, but it's sort of like an upgrade on the current system. A lot of people say that the Scorpio specs will be a lot better than the PS4 Pro specs, but because the Xbox doesn't have like a great set of Xbox exclusive games, people might still lean toward the PS4 Pro. Either way, we're expecting to hear something from Project Scorpio in the conference. As for GamerBuzz, we are expecting to hear from a few different games. State of Decay 2, which was an indie game planned on releasing this year. Hopefully we'll hear more from that at the Microsoft conference. There's also Sea of Thieves, which is a new game from Rare, which we're expecting to hear from. Crackdown 3, Forza Motorsport 7, that was a huge part of their presentation last year, was the Forza games. Or Forza, I should say. I know I'm terrible pronouncing words, but we'll probably expect to see a lot more from those kind of games moving forward with the Microsoft presentation. The other thing I kind of hope that we see more from is crossplay, because they really played that up last year. Well, really, they were playing up the Play Anywhere program, which is if you buy something at the Xbox store, at the Microsoft store, you get the game for both the Xbox and the Microsoft store. I will say the one problem with that is they still haven't drawn the connection between the Microsoft store and Steam. So if you have a game on the Microsoft store, you don't have access to the Steam player base, which kind of sucks because that's where a lot of players are. So that's something that I think they kind of need to work on. But they also showed off crossplay between Xbox, PC, and like iPad, I don't know. And on Minecraft, they were going like all out. They were like iPads and Xboxes and PCs. And then for Forza, they had like an arcade racer. The point is, you haven't seen a lot more from that, I don't think, over the past year. So hopefully they'll talk some more about that. All right, next up, let's talk about Nintendo and what we're expecting to see from them. Okay, so Nintendo has pretty much already told us what to expect from them. They're doing a stream, I think, from the Treehouse on one of the later days of the conference, I think. The big thing is that they're not doing a big presentation like the other companies are, which isn't something they did last year, and I don't think that they do that a ton, so that's not like super unexpected. They pretty much told us what to expect, really. They're going to show off more of Super Mario Odyssey, which is the new Super Mario game that's coming out. People are really excited to see more from that, so hopefully we'll see maybe some gameplay or something from that, which will be cool. They also said that they're having an ARMS Open Invitational Tournament because, of course, ARMS is releasing during E3, immediately after E3, pretty quickly after E3, and that's of course the spring-armed boxing game for the Switch, so we'll be seeing some more of that. And also they're having a Splatoon 2 tournament, so we'll be seeing some more from Splatoon 2 as well, which is going to probably be one of the big sellers for the Switch because a lot of people really like Splatoon, and it seems to me that a lot of people are really looking forward to Splatoon 2, so hopefully we'll see more from all of that. As for anything else from Nintendo, I'm not sure, but we'll see what they got up their sleeves. If nothing else, stellar presenting skills. They are very much show people at Nintendo, so hopefully we'll see more from that. Cool. Next up, let's talk about what we're looking at from Bethesda. Yay, Bethesda. Okay, so Bethesda actually tweeted out a map a while ago on Twitter that was basically supposed to show what they're presenting at E3. A lot of it looks like stuff that they've already been working on, just like HD versions of these different games. But one name that kind of came up was a game called Starfield. I didn't really do a lot of research on it, but I know that it's a game that apparently they've been working on, so maybe we'll see some more from that. I don't really know with Bethesda. I don't really remember what their presentation was last year and what they were showing off. That might have been one of the ones that I only kind of half watched, to be honest. So I'm not really sure what to expect from Bethesda. Maybe some VR stuff, I don't know. But that's what's passing through the grapevine. So if you're a Bethesda fan, I apologize. I'm just not really sure what to expect from Bethesda. Next up, let's talk about Ubisoft. What did people think of the new logo? I don't think I got any responses on it, actually. Well, aside from the stuff on Twitter that was already like, I hate it. But let's talk about what they're probably going to present, shall we? Okay, so according to my research, there are a few things to look forward to from the Ubisoft conference, for sure. Far Cry 5, which they recently released. They were like, well, not released, but they like said that they were making it. And we're like, oh, another Far Cry game, sweet. We'll probably be seeing some more from that going forward. Also, Assassin's Creed. It is rumored that Assassin's Creed Origins will be coming in October. That's sort of an internet rumor going around due to some leaked photos that came out. So hopefully they'll be talking about Assassin's Creed as well. We'll see. We'll see if that one comes up, but I feel that it probably will. If it's probably maybe going to release in October, they'll probably talk about that. So another Assassin's Creed game. Also, a Mario Rabbids crossover that apparently Nintendo and Ubisoft are working on together. I don't know what that's going to be about, but we'll see how that turns out, and hopefully it'll be interesting, and we'll see. Sweetness. Then we have Sony. They have a lot of things to show off, actually, mostly stuff that they showed off last year that we haven't seen a lot from over the course of the year. Particularly Days Gone, which is a new post-apocalyptic zombie survival shooter game, and also God of War, which had an amazing trailer, an amazing playable trailer at the last E3, and we haven't really seen a lot from it since, so hopefully we'll see more from those. Also, maybe Death Stranding. I don't know. Kojima said that they weren't going to be here. He tweeted out a tweet that was a spider web and the word bridges, because why not? I don't even know what to do with that game anymore. I know I said I'd keep you guys updated on it, but what is this? What does that mean? I don't understand, Kojima. I don't understand. What does that mean? I don't know. But what I can say is that Sony is going back to the theater to do their presentation this year, and it will have more live orchestration. Hopefully. Oh my god, that was amazing last year. So we'll see. And hopefully we'll see some good things coming out of the Sony conference. As for the opinion piece this week, I just want to know, what are you guys looking forward to from E3? What developers are you looking at? What publishers are you looking at? What's a game that you're like really excited to see from? And then next week, we will wrap up everything that was actually covered at E3 because I'm taking notes. I always take notes. It's great. It's awesome. So expect a roundup next week and it will be awesome. And we'll talk about what you expected and what we saw and all that good stuff. It'll be exciting. So, booyah. Booyah shaka. Booyah shaka. I don't know. Don't look at me. But with that, that is all I have for gaming news for this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed yet another episode of Hanging with Janky. If you did, you can leave those likes down below. Comments, positive or negative, feel free to leave those below as well. But more than anything, I hope you have a lovely day, evening, or whenever you happen to be watching. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, this is Janky Shenanigans, signing out. Bet you didn't know I could beatbox, did you? Word.